Hi camper families, this is Melissa, your camp director, and I just wanted to provide you a short little overview on how you can support your campers in the days and weeks ahead. We'd like to thank you for advocating for your camper by sending him or her to Camp Spero and entrusting your camper in our care. Because of that, we had an incredibly powerful weekend. We had an action-packed weekend, both emotionally and physically. Throughout the weekend, starting on Friday night, we honored their loved ones through our picture ceremony. Then come Saturday, we were able to pull together some arts and crafts that really helped campers tap into other creative ways to recognize their person who died. And then, of course, Saturday night was our luminary ceremony, where children got to light a candle in honor of their person and share with us some incredible memories and messages to their person who died. Over the weekend, we also facilitated sharing circles, which gave your camper an opportunity to tell their story uninterrupted and in a very powerful setting with kids who are like them and have experienced a story similar to theirs. We also hope that we provided an opportunity for kids to really tap into some new coping skills so that way they can walk away, moving into the rest of their year, able to tap into some new ways to handle some emotions as they come up. And lastly, we hope that the bonds that they made at camp are going to last a lifetime, and your camper finds ways to stay connected with the girls or the boys in their groups, and also potentially come back to our alumni camp in the future. We understand that reconnecting with your camper after the weekend is going to be so exciting, and you'll have lots of questions for them and how their weekend went. We ask that you balance your excitement with their exhaustion and recognize that listening more and asking less questions right away is really beneficial for your child, because it lets them know that not only are you eager to hear, but you're also willing to wait until they're rested up to learn more about their camp experience. Your camper right away might be very hungry and may ask for some of their favorite foods, so plan on stopping or having them prepared for them. They also may be very sleepy. They may fall asleep on the car ride home or want to go to sleep right when they get home. Lastly, it's so critical to know that your campers may have a variety of moods in the first 24 hours or several days after camp, and they can be a little unusual in nature, meaning they may be a little bit more irritable, cranky, or maybe even on the flip side where they're sad and tearful. And some may just have a lot of energy, and some just may have low energy. It's important to recognize that whatever energy or mood is being displayed by your camper, we would deem that a natural, normal response to a high, emotionally and physically exhausting weekend. Lastly, the best way that you can support your camper is really encouraging them and giving them a lot of positive affirmations. Saying things like, "You're so brave for going to a camp like this." Things like, "I can't believe that you had an opportunity like this, and I'd love to hear more about it when you're ready to share." Your camper may not know how to come down off of a high energy weekend like Camp Spero provided. So it's helpful to give them some ideas. You may encourage them to read, write, listen to music, call a friend, watch their favorite TV show. You might cook a meal together. You might play a board game. You can just relax also and just cuddle up on a couch somewhere. It's so important to be compassionate, patient, and present for your campers in the first 24 hours. You can also engage them in asking them more questions about camp, such as, what was your favorite part of camp? Did you try something new? Was there something at camp that was really hard for you? And tell me about somebody who you really connected with. All of these questions and this time that you're creating together in the first 24 hours after camp really helps a child or teen ease back into routine and schedule. Getting back into routines can be really challenging for children and teens after a camp weekend. So you might see a little resistance and protest when it comes to meal times, bedtimes, shower times, and activity times in the first week after your camper comes home. We encourage you to work with them and slowly negotiate and compromise and build up to getting them back into their normal routines. The other things that you might see is what we call a grief spurt. A grief spurt is a very small moment of grief that manifests itself in a child or teen. It can look like a tantrum or a meltdown, also co-sleeping. It could look like asking questions about their person who died, or seeking out memories, or even corroborating some information that they may not feel 100% comfortable on. The important thing to know about grief spurts is that it's not unusual for kids to have this little grief moment and then pop back into their normal kid fun self. Or their normal teen self, whatever that looks like. Just recognizing throughout the week one, children and teens will experience a variety of highs and lows as they navigate all of the exposure to other kids' grief stories, as well as developing and unpackaging their own throughout the weekend. Although you may experience a lot of positive changes in your child or teen after camp, it's important to recognize that just because camp is over doesn't mean that their grief is over. Grieving is a process and there's no easy fix. Letting your camper know that it's okay for them to feel the way he or she does is so important in validating their experience and process. You can also encourage your camper to practice self-care and reach into their toolbox of coping skills when they're having really heavy and hard days. Upon picking up your camper, we're going to provide you a resource bag full of materials on how to support your child long term. Here at the Elizabeth Hospice, you can reach out to us for ongoing support. We provide grief support groups for children and teens ages 3 to 17, held bi-monthly throughout the school year in Escondido and Mission Valley. These are free of charge with a concurrent adult group that meets at the same time. We also provide one-on-one counseling for children and teens and their families. You may enroll your camper in our Camp Spero alumni camp starting in the fall. Reading through the materials included in the bag will be very helpful for you on helping your child understand coping skills, practicing self-care, options to celebrate your loved one during special anniversaries and holidays, developmental responses to grief, and some additional materials provided for you to read on your own time. Please know that our support didn't end with the last day of camp. We are here to help you in the long term, so please don't hesitate to contact us. And thank you again for entrusting your camper in our care.